Hey, it's me, ProJared. Welcome back to Deathgate. We have finished up 3 realms, and now we're about to go on to the final realm of Chelestra, the world of water. And this is, like I said before, where I remember just very little. Very, very little. So, there might be a little bit more me flailing about trying to find solutions in here. A little bit. But this is going to be super exciting because, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Upon leaving the Death Gate, your ship is surrounded by water. A light from an underwater sun glints off the crystalline domes of orbiting moons. Underneath the nearest, you see an entrance, so you guide your ship inside. Neat. So I got my good boy with me. Oh, is this it? This might be it. Maybe it wasn't fire? Yeah. Your ship has landed on a beach which rises to a dark cave in the rock wall. A shimmering city lies to the west. You notice that the stone you're holding has started to glow a faint green. It also tingles a bit in your hand. If you remember, this stone starts to glow the closer we are to ultimate evil, and then we just chuck this at them. So this is the screen that I remember getting stuck at as a kid and couldn't get past it, where at some point the dog is like standing like right around here drinking the water or something like that, but the dog was glitched in such a way that like the graphic of him didn't load properly, and just anytime I reloaded the game with whatever amount of saves just didn't work, and I never got past this part of the game. Let's go to the city first. A thick wall surrounds the city-side's glowing dome. In front looms a gate upon whose door is a huge graven spell. You get the distinct impression that you're being watched. Look at the spell. You recognize the spell from Balthazar's book. It is a warding spell designed to keep out foreign magic. Unfortunately, it also keeps everything else out, including you. This pile of rocks. Okay. You pick up a rock, then another, until you are staggering under the weight of them all. Finally, your strength gives way and all the rocks fall back into a pile, coincidentally resuming their original positions and shaping a new pile, identical to the old one. Okay, so I can't get into here because of the warding spell. I don't think I got any spell that'll undo that. Oh, maybe self-immolation? Wait. Alright, I guess we'll try this spooky cave. You see huge, sinuous tracks leading in and out of the cave's mouth. Some debris, including a bone or two, lies strewn among the tracks. There's also some water here. Drink the water. I haven't had any water in a while. You lap up some of the water. It's clean, cold, and filled with minerals. Give water to some dog. Oh. Oh, can I... You fill the bottle up with water. Okay. Here you go, boy. The dog sniffs the clear bottle a couple of times, but doesn't show much interest in the clear bottle. You don't want any water? Okay. Fine by me. Enter the cave. You walk towards the cave, but as you get closer, you begin to feel fear gnaw at your insides. You felt fear before in the labyrinth, but nothing like this. There's nothing around to inspire such terror, but every step you take toward the cave makes you want to claw your eyes out. Before you're halfway there, you've collapsed on the ground. Magic, you reason. It must be magic. Good boy? You can get past this magic though, right? Enter the cave? Nope. The same unnamed terror forces you back? Wait. Damn. I was gonna see if the dog can just like fly around his ship and have his own adventures. Okay, so it's glowing a little bit, but I don't feel like it's glowing at max quite yet. Huh. And I can't enter the cave because of some kind of magic holding me back. There doesn't seem to be an illusion or anything. Okay. I feel like I'm carrying a lot of extra stuff now. Like, I still have shears. Don't think I need that. Possessing the dog here didn't seem to do anything. Can I freeze the water? Cold. You can't change the temperature of the entire lake. Well, I wanted to try. Drop the rune bone? You shake the rune bones in your hand and drop them. They form a pattern, but since you don't know the rules, you have no idea if you won or lost. You pick them back up again. Alright, I wasn't sure if that was gonna do a thing. Am I supposed to just fuck around with these? The spell book was all the necromancy. I've got some water. That so far, since I've gotten here, I've collected up some water and, like, that's it. Hold on a second. This is all the warding. I was trying to see if, like, these match the rune bones at all. Can I... Wait. Oh, no. Balthazar's book. Remember, one more rune onto this, like, undoes this the whole, like, spell. Pretty sure it's this one. So if I, like, transfer... Put that right onto that. You transfer the symbol from the rune bone onto the city gate. Immediately, the rune appears at the end of the spell, modifying it to form a powerful ward into a possession spell. Since the possession spell has none of the qualities of a warding spell, indeed, it is a very useful spell to place upon a city gate, the magic dome falls away to reveal the glistening capital city of the Sartan. The sight takes your breath away. Got him! Uh-oh, that sounds like bad music. You find it very hard to regain your lost breath as you are struck by a wave of terror. All the glimmerings you've experienced before this are nothing compared to the fear that grips you. You've never, ever been so afraid. The sheer emotional impact throws you to your knees. Blood rushes to your ears. A shriek emerges from the depths of your being. In the labyrinth, you always used your fear to your advantage. It made you quicker, smarter. This fear is unreasoning. You can't control it. You can't use it. You don't even know what's causing it. Ah! A wild, almost break your neck, swinging your head around, trying to spy the source. It isn't long in coming. A black taloned claw strikes your back and sends you sprawling into the sand. You twist around, but cannot rise. You stare into the blood-red eyes of a dragon. They show you your death, and you can but gibber in response.
Ah, a patron. I hope that if I let you live and watched for a while, you would succeed where I have failed for so many, many years. And you have. You have opened the city to me. My magic was useless against that infernal spell. But you understand those mystic runes. You changed it somehow. I am grateful to you, patron. In return, I will give you a quick death. Painful to be certain, but quick.
Whoopsie doodle. You find that words completely fail you. You lie helpless, trembling under the claw of this dragon. He rears back, inhaling. Flames leak from his nose and mouth. When he appears about ready to loose his fiery blast, something catches his eye. Immediately he curtails his attack to stare at the brightly glowing stone that Zifnab gave you. Yo, yeah, my stone! Help me!
What is this? This wasn't made by the puny rune magic that you use. How did you come by it?
You can't even form the first word of an answer, and it seems that this dragon doesn't really expect one. His other foreclaw reaches out and delicately removes the stone from your possession. He draws the stone up to his eye for closer inspection. In reaction, he hisses and roars and waves his neck back and forth, wildly, sinuously, spouting flame everywhere.
This should not exist! It is impossible! There is only me, Sangdrax! I am the wave! You don't mind if I relieve you of this stone, do you? You will certainly have no need of it shortly.
I am the wave. This was the great evil of the wave, and in response to it, the wave created good, aka Zifnab's dragon. Or is it me? He tosses the stone away. It falls on a pile of rocks of similar shape and rise. The only way you can distinguish it from the others is by its shine, which is like the sun. Suddenly, you take notice of a furry form splayed on the ground. You realize that your dog has been silently crawling towards you on its belly, braving the aura of fear that keeps it helpless. Oh, the dog on the ground is trying to crawl at me. No. Every inch is a struggle, and it seems that any second the dog will bolt, but it keeps coming. When it gets near, a quiet whimper escapes its throat, barely audible, but loud enough to attract the attention of the dragon.
This is your rescue?
Don't be mean!
A life form lower than yourself? I will give it this. The dog is certainly braver than you, Patryn.
The dragon rears back and fills the cavern with laughter. This gives the dog just enough time to crawl within reach. It looks at you plaintively, even puts its muzzle into your outstretched hand. No!
Perhaps the dog is wishing you a fond farewell. It knows what is about to happen. I was simply going to kill you, but I've reconsidered. I won't merely end your life, Patryn. I will eliminate every trace of you. I am going to destroy your soul. You will no longer exist on this or any other plane. You should not have brought that stone into my presence. Prepare yourself for oblivion, Patryn.
The dragon rears back again. You assume that no distraction is going to keep it from completing its task at this time. You take one look at your struggling companion and draw some strength from his bravery. You might have to wherewithal to do something. If only you could figure out what to do. Oh, he is drooling. Oh, look at the good boy! Okay. Good boy. Give me that stone. I kind of need it. Possess him? Okay. Your soul flies into the dog's body just as Sangdrax lets loose the blast of fire. The dog's reflexes leap you away, keeping you from harm. This doesn't save your body, though. The flaming column burns a hole clear through its chest. You can actually see the glowing rock floor below.
Now to take care of his mangy pets.
No! Is that it? Is Haplo just dead? I was trying to find... Run! You bolt into the city, narrowly missing the dragon's second torrent of flame. Scared almost out of your mind, you dart into the cluster of buildings. You pad into narrow alleys and twisting side streets. Soon, when you feel you might have lost the dragon, you wander into an open building. Robed figures are filling the seats around you. They all move slowly, yawning as if just awakened. A man in the front notices you and approaches.
What do we have here?
I'm
A
good
dog?
boy.
I haven't seen a dog for ages. But then again, I've been asleep for that long. Hello, boy. I'm Samah. How'd you get in here? Did you come with the Sartan forces from the other realms?
Am I just the dog now? Haplo's like dead? He crouches down, gives your head a pat, and looks deeply into your eyes. Suddenly, his face goes stone sober and his eyes grow hard. He retracts his hand and is fearful of you biting it off.
This dog is no dog. It is a vessel for another's soul. The soul of a patron.
The councilmen gasp and yell, but Samah waves his hands and the room quiets.
We found no other Sartan, no rescue forces. All we discovered were the charred remains of one man and these items.
2 men walk into the room bearing your possessions. They dump the items onto the floor.
Friends,
My stuff!
we have a very unusual situation. Our ward has fallen. This roused us from our slumber as predicted. But instead of greeting the Sartan rescue forces as we expected, all we find is a dog carrying a patron's soul. We need answers, and the only source is this patron. While he exists inside of the dog, he cannot communicate. I suggest that we restore the patron to his original form so that we can question him.
Can you do that?
Bring a patron here? To our very heart? Have you forgotten that the patrons are our mortal enemies? I say leave him in the dog's body. Soon he'll forget he ever was a patron, and he'll be no threat to us.
Do you know what is happening out there? Where are our fellows? Why is this patron here? How long have we slept? It is very possible that the patrons have been rehabilitated as intended. Perhaps this is our rescuer. Is this how you would treat such a guest? No. We shall restore him, and we shall have our questions answered then. It is the only way.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate that my dog is the bravest boy?
Whatever you might think of me, Councilman, I am no fool. You may prepare the nullification element. We will administer it to the patron after he is restored.
The councilman grunts in approval, then fetches a bottle filled with water. He traces a quick spell in the air which flows into the liquid. After a moment of light, the bottle looks absolutely normal. You notice that while you were watching the lone Sartan and his bottle, the entire council has gathered around you. Together, they weaved an incredibly complex spell that appears to require them all. Like a blanket, the spell falls over you and sinks into your flesh. The dog's body reacts violently to the Sartan magic. Limbs stretch, tendons pop, your bones start to expand and twist. You let loose yowls of pain, one after another, but notice that each one sounds a little more human than the last. Finally, you lay on the ground, panting and hurting, but what seems to be your old, comfortable body. You feel hands drop and clothe you in the garments that remain from the dragon's attack. Then someone pours cool, clear water down your throat. You accept it eagerly. Wait. But do I not have my dog anymore? I want him for the rest of the game. Now I am dog?
What have you done to me, Sartan? You've taken my magic away!
Wait, what? The water has removed your ability to cast spells.
Calm, my friend. What we have done is temporary, and for your protection as much as ours. You have imbibed some nullified water. This eliminates all of your magical possibilities. While you cannot bring any possibilities into this reality, neither can any be placed upon you. This means that although you cannot cast any spells, you are invulnerable to others' magic as well.
Neat.
You have been nullified. It will continue for only as long as we need to question you.
Okay, this seems alright.
Now let us begin. Who are you? Why are you here? How did you get into the city?
I was the dog.
Aren't you the same Samah who originally sundered the world? Who banished my people into the labyrinth?
Yes, I am that. I know that you can't understand this, but it was all necessary. It was part of a larger plan. I'll explain everything after you tell me what you know.
You know what?
All right, Sartan. You want the truth? I'll give it to you.
You launch into a tirade, personally blaming Samah for leaving the labyrinth masterless, turning it into a slaughterhouse that thirsted for your people's death. You recount the thousands of years of struggle and bloodshed, which even now plagues your race. You describe your lord's unprecedented escape and tell how he selflessly and safely led others, including yourself, out of the labyrinth. You state that his thirst for revenge against the Sartan is unequaled.
If you kill me, others will follow. Even now, our army outnumbers that of the surviving Sartan. I've seen your forces. I know where they are, and I know that my lord will destroy them effortlessly. You can't win.
You continue continue by recounting your experiences and describing the state of the Sartan and each of the worlds. Samah cries openly at the description of the dead Sartan in the crystal resting places in Arianas. He seems genuinely confused by the antics of Zifnab and Patryn. He recoils on learning of the practice of necromancy on Abarak, and he listens closely to the account of your battle with Sangdrax and of your escape.
I have much to say about what you have told me. Your people, you have been wronged. I wish I could change what has happened, but I cannot. It seems that we took on far too much. We thought we were gods, that we were infallible. We weren't. And both of our races have paid the price. However insane you think it might have been, there was a purpose to the plan. We tried to create worlds in which the Mensch would thrive once they were united and the realms were interconnected. What your lord seeks to do is collect all of the seal pieces to reform the original world. He doesn't understand what this means. His efforts will result in the death of many of the Mensch left alive in the new realms.
Also, I'd like to show how the Sartan are wearing all white. Zar, the good guy, was wearing all black.
Perhaps he does understand. By decimating the opposing force even before the war is joined, he ensures his success. I'm not sure the Mensch left alive will enjoy the slavery he undoubtedly plans for them. What he may not realize is that this will affect his own race as well. Many of his people will die in the Reformation. Do you think he would risk that?
You consider. You know your lord's ambition. From his research, he probably already knows about how the Reformation will affect the Mensch, and you suspect he may be willing to sacrifice his own people to further the cause of conquest. You understand that he views you individually as expendable, but just how far does his view of expendability extend? He has claimed in the past that there are always casualties in war.
You may be right, Samah. I'm not sure about your plan, but perhaps the Reformation isn't the correct path. I'll return to my lord and discuss it. For now, I'll leave your sealed piece here.
I'm very glad that you see things this way. I hope that we can begin a new era of peace together. Go back to your lord. Tell him that I will gladly speak with him. But I have one important question before you go. What exactly happened to Sangdrax after you escaped from him?
Oh, he said he was going to come to the city and wreck all your shit. As you consider the question, one of the men who brought your possessions into the room begins to writhe. He tears off his robe and metamorphosizes into the gigantic shape of Sangdrax. He's here! The Sartan dive for safety behind the benches. Only Samah and yourself remain standing in the open. Sangdrax ignores the assembly, glides over to the seal piece upon the wall, and grabs it between two talons.
Thank you, Patryn, for painting such a vivid picture of all of the worlds, including your own, that lovely place called the Labyrinth. Definitely a realm after my own heart. You see, I feed on fear and chaos, and I can't see a better way to produce such things than by allowing your lord to proceed with his plan. However, since you appear to have lost your nerve, I'll have to take your place.
The dragon's eyes focus on you, but for some reason you don't experience the wave of fear that accompanied his presence at your last meeting. Alongside of you, Samah is shivering. He looks terrified. The dragon's aura of fear spell no longer affects me, for I have been nullified.
Your lord trusts you, does he not? Especially when you are doing what he wants. I shall take your ship, go to the Nexus, and deliver this seal piece to him. I'm guessing that it will complete his collection. Then I shall lead him to the vortex where he can perform the rite of reformation. I'm so sorry you decided to turn against your lord. I'm sure that he doesn't view traitors in a very good light.
He just polymorphed into me!
I do hope you won't die in the ensuing chaos. All of you. I'd love to meet you again. We have much to discuss, and an eternity of pain during which we can discuss it.
He strolls out of the building before you can say a word. Only after the dragon has left do the councilmen emerge. Samah unclenches his jaw and forces himself to stop shaking. Oopsie doodle. It's on me. Didn't know, sorry.
Can't you stop Sangdrax?
No, I'm afraid not. His magic is too powerful for us to oppose. When we first arrived here, we built this city and placed the Mensch inside the other sea moons. Stone-enclosed islands, much like this one. Shortly thereafter, Sangdrax appeared. We don't know where he came from. Unprovoked, he launched an attack against us. He never destroyed us all, just killed a few people. But it was enough to keep us scared and confused.
Yeah, he feeds on that.
We never had a chance to defeat him. He commands some form of magic that is foreign to us, more powerful than the rune-based magic that we use. We erected the ward around the city as a last-ditch effort against him. Evidently, it worked. The ward was designed to keep out all foreign magic. Since he consisted almost entirely of pure magic, he could not enter. We decided to enter our sleep capsules. We expected that when the others had learned that we were in danger, they would gather here to help us defeat Sangdrax. We keyed our awakening to occur when the ward had fallen, assuming that it would happen only when the other Sartan had arrived. We never dreamed that thousands of years would pass before the ward fell. Now that it has, Sangdrax is loose. Not only is he a threat to us, but with your ship, he has access to all of the worlds.
Oh.
And if he succeeds in causing the Reformation, we'll all probably die in the process anyway.
Yeah, that's the worst part, is he took my boat.
You know, Zifnab gave me a stone to use against some ultimate evil. Do you think this might prove effective against Sangdrax?
I don't know. Tell me about it. It sounds like this might be some other kind of magic. Perhaps made from the same source that created Sangdrax himself. It may be that Sangdrax is vulnerable to it. Where is it? I didn't see it along with your possessions.
Sangdrax got hold of the stone and tossed it into a pile of rocks which look exactly like it. I don't have a clue which one it is.
I'm afraid I can't help you there.
Well,
I never saw the stone to begin with,
I'll have to take all of them.
so I wouldn't be any help in finding it now, lost among similar rocks. I do hope you're able to get it back, though. Judging from the way Sangdrax reacted to it, it sounds as if that stone is our only hope to defeat the dragon.
This episode's going long, but I don't care. There's so much has happened.
Why wasn't I affected by the dragon's aura of fear? It sure had me in its grasp last time I encountered it.
That's because you had been nullified. Remember, nullifying water eliminates your vulnerability to magic, as well as your ability to cast spells. Sangdrax's aura of fear didn't affect you because no magic could affect you.
If that's so, why didn't you all tank up with the water and go after him?
Yeah.
His magic wouldn't do a thing against you.
I mean, he's
This
still a
is true.
dragon, but
Although we would be helpless as well as invulnerable. While the water was in effect, we would not be able to use our magic against Sangdrax. We could only confront him physically. He can choose any form. In a purely physical battle, he would destroy us hands down.
alright, that's fair.
Where is Sangdrax leading, my lord? The vortex?
Yes, the vortex is the one place that the Reformation ritual can be enacted. It is where we originally sundered the world. It's also the only place where the interconnection can begin.
What exactly is the interconnection?
We designed the realms to work together. Each had specific functions to perform in the overall plan. The interconnection was to tie all of the worlds together. Abarak would produce raw materials.
Oh,
Arianas would take those materials and refine them to produce manufactured goods.
makes sense.
Prion would supply power to the other worlds.
Right.
Chelestra was to provide a place for most of the people to live and purify some of the toxins from the other worlds, notably Abarak.
Right.
The realms were never designed to survive on their own for an extended time, and yet that's exactly what they've had to do. It's not too late, though. From what you've told me, Abarak is dying.
Sure is.
The interconnection is the only thing that can save it. It's the only alternative to Reformation.
Now, where is it?
Where is the vortex?
The only place from which the vortex can be entered is in the labyrinth.
Uh-oh.
We reasoned that this would be the safest place to hide the portal. It may be that your lord will balk at traveling the length of the labyrinth again the wrong way, but Sangdrax can be very persuasive. He will convince him, one way or another.
How do you start the interconnection?
Much like the Reformation, it requires all 5 of the seal pieces. In the center of the vortex is a floating island. It has 4 spires. Each spire represents an element: air, fire, stone, and water.
Never heard that one
The seal
before.
pieces must be placed upon each corresponding spire. Then the spell itself must be ignited. This is done by placing the focus over the correct rune and inserting the Nexus seal piece into it.
Okay.
Which is the starting rune for the interconnection spell?
It would be too difficult to describe.
Oh, I'm too dumb.
Though I will tell you that we left the focus over that rune. We intended to return and ignite the interconnection spell someday.
Okay.
Let's back up a step.
Certain.
Do you have
Yeah.
another ship that I can use to pursue him?
Yes, certainly.
Oh,
In fact, as we've been speaking, I've had another ship placed in the same port where you landed.
good.
You're welcome to it. There is, however, one problem. We seem to be a little short on steering stones.
Fuck.
It takes quite a while to magically prepare a stone sphere to accept the naming runes that guide a ship through the Death Gate. The only such stone we have is the ceremonial globe in this very chamber, and you can't use that.
Why not?
Don't you think saving the worlds is worth sacrificing your precious ceremonial globe?
Not at all. You see, the globe was placed in this room before the building's construction was complete. It's too large to fit through any of the exits.
Oh.
It's also far too heavy to move any distance by hand. You're welcome to it if you can find a way to transport it. But then,
Let me just use
it
some
doesn't
magic.
have any of the naming runes on it anyway. I don't think that the globe is the solution to this problem.
Fuck.
Could we talk a little about the other worlds?
Very well. What would you like to know?
Is there anything in here I want to know? Oh, yeah.
Do you know who Zifnab is?
I know of no Zifnab, but I doubt that is his true name. He sounds like a valuable ally if he knows as much as you say and has access to magic outside of our mastery.
Would you prefer Fizzban?
Why'd you react so strongly when I told you about necromancy?
Necromancy was banned for many reasons soon after it was discovered. The most important reason being that when someone dead is raised, someone else will die untimely. This maintains the balance. By relying on necromancy, the people of Abarak have doomed our race. The magic doesn't recognize the boundaries of the realms. It killed
Whoops.
Sartan as far away as Arianas and Pryan. It wiped out thousands.
Whoops.
Why is everyone here alive and well?
It's actually ironic. The ward that we constructed to repel the magic of Sangdrax must have had the effect of repelling the magic of necromancy as well. It kept us alive against two dangers. But now, we only have hundreds of people left, where once we had tens of thousands. We shall try to reconstruct our lives, to help our brethren on Abarak, if there is a world left to live on.
Let's go back a step.
Let's just go.
I don't have time for talk. Now's the time for action.
Very well. If I can be of any further assistance, do not hesitate to ask.
You noticed that sometime during your conversation with Samah, the nullification spell wore off. You now can make command room magic again. Oh, thank God. And I learned a new spell, and I got my stuff back. And I am dog. So I learned null water. Oh, do I still have my bottle of water? Whew. All right. Damn. We're going to leave this episode off here because, holy shit, that was intense. I kind of still wish I had my own dog, even though I'm well aware that my dog still saved my life just by letting me become him. So now I'm a good boy. Give me head pats. All right. Damn. That was exciting. I don't think I ever got this far. I don't remember the dragon at all. I feel like I would have remembered that. So I probably got stuck at the ward of the cities. This is all new to me. All right. That's going to do it for this episode. As always, thank you guys so very much for watching. See you next time.